Now, I do have a captain's question to go into. Um, I asked before what our favorite pilots were, but I meant at the moment. And so it's been a few months, and I want to ask again. We've had a few waves come out and such, but what are your favorite pilots of the moment in the X-Wing game?
Hmm.
Jake, you made a comment first. I think you're stepping up.
Hmm.
You're right. I
Yeah,
did
he
make a
stepped up.
sound first. I accidentally
Fool.
exhaled a little too quickly. Um, okay. My favorite pilot of the moment. I'm going to go out on a limb here and step away from the safety of my faction, which is Empire.
Dun, dun,
Uh,
dun.
I am actually going to choose the pilot Bosk. So Bosk is obviously scum and villainy. He's the bounty hunter, and he gets to pilot the Hound's Tooth. And his whole thing is, or his whole ability is that when you perform an attack, you can actually decide if you roll any critical hits, if you want to split that one critical hit up into two hit results. And the reason, I mean, it's fairly obvious, but the reason why I'm liking that is that it gives you a lot of kind of liberty when you're attacking somebody. And if they've got their shields up, that critical hit really is not going to do you as much good as just having two regular hits to really strip those shields. So I really like that as a pilot ability in general. I really wish that one of my Imperial pilots had that ability. But that's my pilot of the moment, my
Can,
favorite pilot of the moment.
can I say I actually flew against Boston tonight
Oh, really?
with a YV666 party bus, and I flew with my list had a number of Z95s, and I had two Z95s one-shotted by Bosk because of his ability. He would
Amazing.
get a bunch of hits through, and I would crap out my dice, and it would be like hit, hit, crit. So it'd be like shield, shield, crit. Oh, turned to two hits. Boom, dead Z95. So I actually had two one-shot at Z95s due to Bosk and his special ability. So I totally get the power of that.
Excellent.
All right,
Cool.
Phil.
Um, I think that my favorite palette to tweak and work with these days is Nian Num, of course.
He's always, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that before I probably if you asked me a couple months ago, I probably said Shizor because it's usually who I end up working with. But Nian Num has really cool ability. Uh, he's just cool as a cucumber in that X-wing, as long as he's shooting somebody or there's someone right in front of his face for me to kill. You know, as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
he kind of looks like a cucumber if you think
So
about it.
I
A
guess
cucumber that you might not want to eat.
has he come out yet? Because it was in a new package, right?
I've got him. He's out.
Oh, okay, okay. When you receive a stress token, if there is an enemy ship inside your firing arc at range 1, you may discard that stress token. Oh, okay, yeah. He was a good jouster. So they actually sold out of all the Heroes of the Resistance at our local store
Hmm.
after 1 week.
Wow.
Yeah, because I know someone tonight was looking for it and it's gone. And I
Yeah,
didn't have cash.
I think the store owner said he got 20 of them, like 20 sets of them. Is what he said, and he sold out of all of them basically in a week and a half, however long it's been out, which is
A
pretty
week?
good. Yeah, it's pretty good. I didn't think that set would get that much play, but I guess there were a couple cards in there that everybody had to have.
I've been looking at it and I am more interested in it to be honest. But I actually tonight just picked up the Special Forces TIE Fighter or the TIE Fighter Special Forces from the First Order from the last wave. I finally was able to scrape up the cash and I got it. I was pretty happy about that. So, woohoo! All right, so Nian Nub, big surprise from our co-pilot. All right, J-Bot, how about you?
Well, Jim will be rather familiar with this guy.
Oh, yes. I saw
I was
J-Bot.
able to I had our local store does like a punch card sort of thing. When you spend money, you get I guess a punch on the card. When you get enough, you can turn the card in for basically store credit. Long story short, I have a buddy of mine who likes to go up there and buy random things at random times. So he had like a dozen of these cards that I just combined and was able to purchase two of the Protectorate starfighters. And so Jim got to learn again, I guess, what the meaning of Finraud means.
The verb.
The verb Finraud. So he is my pilot of the week, which because
Yeah.
Jim knows how I play. I grumble. I complain. I assume
Oh
I'm going
my
to lose
God.
pretty much at all times. That's my gimmick. Y'all should be well aware of this. But Finrau was able to somehow magically swing this thing around, and I think the two-hit, three crit face roll to his special forces tie is pretty much what turned the tide of that
Okay,
match.
so we played, and my dice were slightly above average. Like I'd get 3 green
Oh,
dice,
don't try that.
focus, and I'd roll like evade blank. You know, I wouldn't even use my focus, but I'd get like the 2 evade and a blank.
Slightly above average. I
Slightly
put 10
above
dice, 10 dice into that TIE fighter and did 2 damage.
Yeah, the problem is, but I only rolled 2 evade each time though. 3 dice, I rolled 2 evade, you know, and that was it. So I only rolled 4 evade out of those 10 dice. The rest of them were you missing. So my dice weren't that necessarily crazy. But he complained,
Emphasis on
"Oh,
E.
my dice were good. My dice were good. Oh, he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose." And he pretty much had Fenrau against, you know, half my
Yeah,
list.
that
And
was it. Yeah,
he
Finrau, because I was losing all my ships, and that was all I
He
had left.
kicked
With 2 holes.
my
Finrau
butt.
with 2 holes left.
It came out like he hit me one time, range 1, and he managed to roll like 3 crits and 2 hits. You know, it was ridiculous. It was
and
like
be
that
honest,
one time, and
blank
I rolled
is-
like blank, blank
blanked it out. And,
evade dice. Like, I don't want to hear about your bad luck. I don't want to hear about it. My luck has not been that amazing. And
the
that
first time
die
I've
roll
won
was
2
just amazing. Like, no modification. He rolls 3 crits and 2 hits, no mods. Just downright sickening.
It's I remember when that pack, the news came out with that pack, and we all kind of discussed it as being interesting. We'd like to see it. It might bring back the joust, et cetera, et cetera. It's, I mean, they're devastating little ships. Those Protectorate starfighters are. If they can get into that range 1 slot, they're brutal. I heard one of the tournament guys, say something along these lines tonight, which I thought was rather interesting way of putting it. He said they're not jousting ships; they're arc dodgers that, if you make a mistake, can still kill you, because they are so good as jousters. He's like, no, they're technically arc dodgers that, if you accidentally screw up and you end up right in front of somebody, you can still survive it and basically blow them to smithereens at the same time. So, I think if I practice with them a little bit more, I'll get better. It's the first time I've ever flown anything in ages that had that much maneuverability, that much kind of just ability to adjust where you're at any given time. So
yeah, he was pulling out the hawk dial because his list had a hawk. It was actually the list from the BT from last week.
Yeah,
and
that's one of my minor gripes, which I could go into in a long spiel, but I'll keep it short since this isn't really a ranting session at the moment. But the hawk is the second worst dial next to a shuttle, period. Like, the shuttle has like 11 total maneuvers on it, including a stop, and the hawk has 12. Everything else has 13 or more. When you spin the hawk dial, you can actually put it on blank spots. That's how many empty spots are on there.
Like, you can fit like probably 2 moves in between the regular moves.
You can't turn like that Protectorate dial without getting, like, you can't get any black space. They're so tight together, all the maneuvers are. And that hawk is like, hey, look, there's a black space. Oh, look, there's another empty space. Oh, there's another empty space. That's what I'm used to flying, is those sorts of things. And to have access to almost double the number of moves was a little overwhelming. So I think with more practice, I could probably get used to it. But this week, Finrau, I mean, how could he not be? It was a amazing comeback with a really powerful card, I guess, powerful pilot.
Yeah, I've been seeing him a lot. I will say, for my favorite pilot of the moment is Ketsu Anyu. And did I talk before about my Ketsu list, which I don't know if it's a B team, but even somebody tonight was saying that they think they might see this at this local tournament going on soon, or even at regionals. But it's like Ketsu Anyu with 4 Z95s with Black Market Slicer Tool, and Ketsu's got Fearlessness and Dengar Crew for modification. So basically, Ketsu wants to get up in your face and give you the tractor beam token, and then blast the crap out of you at short range. And I think it's really good, really fun. And I played it before JBot. I played someone, and I got it down to just Fen Rao, and I could. It was down to half hull because the black market slicer tools and all, and I could have probably played it just normal and gotten some shots off and killed them. But I tried to get clever, and I just kind of messed up a couple times, like 3 rounds in a row, where I tried to be clever, and they weren't all devastating, but a couple rounds were crappy, and I got killed. So it was bad. But Ketsu Anyu, I love it. Going fast, bumping, or getting supposed to bump into you, and doing that free tractor beam, and then barrel rolling them away and shooting at range 1 with the 4 red dice with the added 1, and then Dengar for modification. I think it's pretty awesome. I love it. I like Ketsu Anyu and the Lancer Pursuit Craft. Pew pew.
No, it's definitely a cool ship. I want to get it on the table soon. I just got mine.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to help us continue improving and expanding our channel's content.